computer.
Oh, good call. We're getting so much better at that.
Oh, I know. Well, I had it to where it was just going to go ahead and like start recording it from the very beginning, but I don't know that I pressed that option this time. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Amanda. Hi,
I'm Monica,
Hi.
everybody. I'm just gonna do one big hello for everybody.
Monica. Cover your bases. I love it. I'm so excited. Everyone is here.
I know this is a
Been
fun
a
little
minute.
shift in pace too with the new moon vibes.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Carrie, I like your shirt. That's cute. I love that.
I love that.
Little sugar skull. Oh, that's fun. Oh, that's very fun. Yay. Welcome, everybody. How
How's
are
everybody
you
doing?
guys all feeling today? We've got the chat too. So if you guys want to throw anything up in the chat box, we like to do that.
Yeah, or unmute yourself if you prefer.
Yeah, I mean, I want to hear your voices personally. Well, I'll just start you guys off. My week's been absolutely crazy. And, you know, I think with this Virgo new moon energy, I got like the urge to clean my whole room, reorganize, do all the things, but I chose to do it on the day where I had the least amount of time possible. So if that doesn't describe everyone's energy today, I don't know. How are you guys feeling? What's up with y'all?
Like
Yeah.
I've been noticing when the moon is more in the dark moon phase and there's no lightness out there, I'm very low energy.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
low energy feeling. I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna be more of a hermit in my house, and it feels nice.
I love that. I love that.
And it's been a crazy week too. Lots of chaos last month.
What?
Our car exploded, the engine blew. It's like our lawnmower also kaput. It's like
Oh my
electronics are
God.
not, or just, I guess it's not even electronics, but like things are just everywhere. Just, I don't know. Anybody else having car issue? I have a client that her same thing happened. Her engine blew. So I was curious, anybody else?
No car problems. I watched
Oh.
some dogs this weekend and they got sick and like it was like a situation. But I mean that kind of chaos, things just kind of not going the way that they're supposed to. It's not even retrograde for Mercury at least.
The last month I had a lot of random things break within the same week. And my only conclusion of why they're all connected is I I must be breaking a lot of cycles and shifting. So some physical things are now kind of breaking.
Ooh,
And that's just kind
yeah.
of been and it makes me feel better. I have no idea, but like my blow dryer broke, the wheel on my Medusa at the salon fucking popped off, and now she's lopsided, and I still haven't fixed it. But sun catcher fell off on the thing. That's not this month though, but maybe, Monica, maybe that's why some things are weirdly breaking for you too. Because I know you've been doing a lot of cool shit and doing a lot of leaps and stuff. So it could be.
And the snakes. I forgot about
And
that.
she
I
almost stepped
mean,
on the
my
poisonous
eyes.
copperhead,
Oh,
right? A
oh
Yes.
my
copperhead.
God.
Yes, like I'm telling you, the angels made me. I just felt this urge to look over, and actually, when I looked over at first, my vision was a little bit blurry. So I
Yeah.
was like, "Is that a print in my grass?" And then I'm like, "Oh my God, is that a snake?" And then I could see the tip of the head sticking out, and I just like leaped over, and Nick's like seeing me out the window. He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Snake, snake, get the car! There's a snake!" But
Um,
it's the third one this year. It's weird. Yeah.
Wow.
I think
mm-mm.
it's the Kundalini awakening, is what I was telling Jade.
Mm, I love that. Oh,
Mm.
that's amazing. Okay, so I actually heard something that kind of to what Jade said, like when things start breaking around you, it's like so you don't break, so the energy around you is like reverberated outward. So other things go wrong instead of it basically coming on to you. I've also heard that too. But I love I guess the thought process of like when you're going through like major transformations and major shifts, like energy is literally leaving you, you know, so it's going somewhere, and there's kind of like this like explosion of energy that's happening, you know, that's like almost alchemizing, right? Like the action of it is almost alchemizing the energy outward. That's kind of how I like envision it, I guess.
I like that.
Uh-huh. I love it.
Love that.
Carrie, today was just tons of grounding and meditation, lazy. See, that's what I wanted today. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe that will meet me tomorrow.
There you go.
My fingers are crossed. Well, I think this is the whole group.
I think this is
Yeah, I'm stoked. So you guys, really excited to be back with you this month after taking, it was last month that we took off, right? Time has just flown by so freaking fast. There are so many just new, beautiful new beginnings, a lot of new exciting chapters happening. I know for a lot of you are experiencing the same thing. And Jade and I are stepping into like a lot of cool new adventures that are like branching off of the sisterhood, including in-person events that we started this last month that were super successful. Jade is going to be leading one in her hometown as well. So even though I know that we're all scattered across the map, but if you're in one of our home states, I'm in California, in Southern California, and then Jade is in Columbus, Ohio. So if you guys are near any of those and like want to join in with us on some of these in-person events, we would be so freaking stoked to have you. I've got a day retreat coming up at the end of September. And then, hey, eventually, like we might be planning some like full-on retreats for like a weekend or something. So that could give you an opportunity to actually like travel out and meet up with us and get to share the experience in person. So just a lot of cool stuff to look forward to, but that is why we took a pause for last month to kind of just get our footing back and reconsider what direction we're headed, what we want to do to bring you guys just more knowledge, more love, more connection, more tools, and most of all, just more healing for yourselves to dive into through yourself. So we missed you guys though, 100%. I mean, even Jade and I were like, oh my God, it's just felt so long since we've seen everybody. And then we did the Leo, the Lions Gate. And we were going to do it on Facebook.
We still can't.
Facebook Live.
Like we can get on there. We just don't know how to add someone onto the video. So both of us are on there. We just, I don't know. We can't figure it out. It's probably so simple and we just.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Salty still.
Yeah, she said the Lionsgate video is so good. I really appreciate that. We felt the vibe on it too, 100%, which is why we decided to like put it up as our first YouTube.
And we've been talking about the YouTube channel for months. So that was another reason why we're like, we think it was good to take the break because there's a lot of those projects that we were waiting on. So that was good. That was a nice push.
Yeah. I mean, really, like what we want to do is just create more accessible content for you guys as we're learning more. We want to just present more opportunities to jump in on it with us. So just look forward to all the little things we're coming up with. Super excited.
Keep a lookout for the newsletter.
Oh yeah, and the freaking
put it in there.
Yes. Are you guys all on our subscription list for the newsletter? Our newsletter list?
They should be. Everyone's like from the emails. Yeah.
If you guys have like basically signed up for a sisterhood event, your email's been registered. And we use that email list to send you guys out for the recap of these events and then updates for future events and then other things that Jade and I are putting together that you might want to be a part of. So yeah, and Jade does a really beautiful job putting those together. So
thanks.
Absolutely. You have great aesthetic. So I guess we can like just go jump in. Virgo new moon, you guys. You know, Jade and I were kind of chatting a little bit before we hopped on. And it's cool because we have actually gone over Virgo prior to this, but we did the Virgo full moon. So now we're at that, past that halfway mark, being in August. So we're going to be now experiencing the opposite viewpoint of the new moon versus the full moon. So you guys know, or maybe you don't know yet, but a full moon is created by an opposition between the sun and the moon, right? So with now the new moon, it's actually a conjunction where they're aligned up right next to each other to where they become almost invisible, like not invisible, but hard to tell them apart or separate from each other. So there's already this automatic harmony with the sun energy and the moon energy coming together to really give you both sides of the puzzle, and you can actually see them in front of you and take them both for what they're worth in their full perspective. So for your polarity energies this month, you've got Virgo and then you have Pisces. So you have super detailed, logical, and then you have mysterious, water, depth energy. Free spirit. Yeah.
Structure, and then the other one's like fuck structure. So yeah.
Exactly. One creates the container and the other one is creating the fluidity. So it's that beautiful dynamic of masculine and feminine energy, but not even masculine to the point of really controlling things, because what's so beautiful about Virgo is it offers a very beautiful softness to the detail. So Virgo naturally means virgin energy. So it is organic, who we are at our most organic and unique state of being, our most like authentic self. Aside from all the programming, all the layers that we picked up, and those types of things. So that's kind of the beginning of the idea of who Virgo is, and how we can start to step into that. I want to read you guys a beautiful excerpt from the one of my decks that I have called the Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck, and its guidebook. It has such a great explanation about Virgo energy, and then we'll kind of get into just one of the aspects that is kind of coming in with Virgo new moon for us kind of right now, and how we can kind of channel into it. So I'll read this first and then we'll go into that. Okay. All right. So in mythology, virgin energy means whole and complete. Similarly, Virgo, the virgin goddess, asks you to strip away the not you layers that clog your vessel. These may be unhealthy habits, toxic relationships, damaging thought patterns. This cleansing force comes to guide your body, mind, and spirit back to its natural state of grace. This humble energy knows the most profound way to create change is through small, consistent actions. So, what are your daily embodied rituals? Are they in support of your higher self and your ultimate purpose? Service your life so that you may be of service to self, spirit, and others. Okay, so a couple of the energetics of Virgo, you're going to have integrity, reverence, and humility. The experiences are going to be going inward, attention to detail, rituals, and being of service. And then the shadow aspect is going to be overly perfectionist, self-critical, and impossibly high standards. So I can really align that with myself, especially right now. A lot of the things that I've been falling into, or like thought patterns, very self-critical, perfectionism, need to do it better, it's not good enough, those kinds of things. Now with the Virgo new moons are automatically a time for new beginning. It's a time where that harmony is coming together for us, for harvest, for celebration, for taking account of all of the abundance that is like poured in on us and that we have in front of us. And you could even think about it as like, look at your to-do list that you have with you. You know, we've all got a freaking to-do list a mile long of things that we want to get done, things people asked us to do for them, you know. So this gives us an opportunity to actually look at what that list looks like and then start to actually take a viewpoint of how many of these things represent me. How many of these things are actually in support of my goals of who I'm becoming? How many of these things are actually no longer applicable for me that I'm still trying to get done and spending my energy on, yet it's not serving or helping the person who I am becoming at my most authentic self. You know, as I'm stepping in further into my higher self and into my higher self, as I'm growing, letting go of all the bullshit, stepping into my power, things are going to change. Your boundaries are going to change. What you're willing to do for others is going to change. Who you're willing to do it for will also change. So taking a look at that long ass to-do list and really seeing like, wow, I've got a lot of opportunity. I've got so much opportunity. Like angels have freaking blessed me. You know, I've got friendship, I've got business coming in, I've got, you know, new connections, networking, all the things, you know, whether it's like you got a new car or vacation or, you know, the actual like tangible, like fun abundance things that also come in that we call in relationships, you know, we have all these blessings coming in, but we need to look at what it is that we're still calling in. Is it something that we really still want? Is it something that still aligns with us? Or do we need to take a little view and see what we can shift over the next 2 weeks? Then when we get to the full moon, we can finally like take another glance at and release all of it. This is where we are taking account of everything. Okay, we're taking account of it. In 2 weeks, we'll be at the new moon or at the full moon, and then we can release all of that at that time as well. I mean, you don't have to wait till then, but it kind of seems to line up that way. The integration period is that 2 weeks of stepping into the energy and honing in on it. So for this Virgo energy, as much as like we want to be detailed, we also want to step in the fluidity of, hey, that's okay if that's not for me anymore, because I'm taking advantage of the opportunities that are actually aligned with me now. And it's okay that some of these aren't for this time right now, they may be for later. So I can put those aside and do what I'm truly passionate about. So that is kind of what I've been taking from Virgo new moon, especially just Virgo is my moon. So I feel very, when it comes to my emotions, I am personally very logical about my thought processes. Everything that I think it needs to have a reason behind it, or like 1 + 1 has to equal 2. If it doesn't equal 2, we will find out why, and I will run it through my head until I do. So that is kind of like the energy behind Virgo emotion.
A little obsessive.
A little obsessive.
A little obsessive.
Yeah. So the relaxation that comes in with Pisces of giving us the opportunity to actually take a step back and step into the flow of things and see things from a very even keeled state. That beautiful balance that comes into play with that. Now, when there is an opposition, there's more of a pulling between the two energies of like, oh, I want to be this way, but I feel like I need to be this way. And that's the call to come to the center. Now, the new moon is literally the center being given to you because the energy is here for us to play with that way. So do you guys have any questions about the Virgo energy, or perhaps the Pisces energy that's coming into play with it? Bing. Cool. Well, that feels good to me, you guys. I absolutely, that was the other thing. Well, no, I kind of touched on it.
You did touch on it.
Yeah. So one of the other factors that's making us so focused on what our desires are and how they align with us is because there's a square happening between Mars and Gemini and new moon in Virgo. So that Gemini and Virgo energy is that intellectual kind of overthinking, or getting deeper and getting curious into your thinking and your thought process behind the logistics of what you want in regard to your desires, if that makes sense. Cool beans. Just reevaluating what you want and why you want it. And if it's coming from a place that's of a pure heart, or if it's coming from a place of other people want this for me, so I've chosen to call this in, versus it's really what I want.
And just like getting back to your why, get back to your core, go back to that simplicity. And if nothing's aligning with that, you have permission to kind of put it down for now. And it doesn't mean you're never going to do it, but just right now might not be the time. Yeah.
100%.
And too, with being in a new moon energy, they also call it the dark moon. So you've probably heard it being called a new moon, dark moon. The reason why it's also called dark moon is because it's dark in the sky. You don't even see it. And it's associated a lot with winter time. So for a lot of people, if you start to kind of get a little bit more awareness of how your natural energy is ebbing and flowing as the moon is shifting and her own shifts too with the phases, you might start to see that you have similar energy around the same time of different moon phases. So you might notice your own energy may actually be feeling more tired. You don't really want to do as much stuff when it's like all dark moon phase for 2.5 to 3 days. But once the light starts to hit, you get more energized feeling. So this is also with the winter time. It's the great time to also kind of like nestle in on these things and really hone in and focus on it too. Just like winter teaches us to kind of go in towards ourselves, kind of shelter a little bit. So if you're someone who's like me, who doesn't get a lot of energy, that's okay. Because full moon, I have way more energy where I want to like do more stuff usually, but, or just naturally more energy. But I have noticed new moons, I'm a little bit more like, okay, no, I'm a little bit more hermity.
Yeah, introspective for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that as well. Do you guys tend to recognize that within yourselves? If you guys want to pop in the chat, what's your energy around the new moon versus the full moon?
And if you haven't started to notice, then let us put the bug in your ear just to
Yeah.
start evaluating yourself every month to kind of just see, like, how do
Yeah.
I feel? Am I getting creative? Like I've noticed the crescent moon, the waning crescent right before we hit into the new moon. I wasn't creative. Like I didn't want to go on Canva and make shit and do that type of crap.
Yeah.
But I wanted to like cook and I was energized and I wanted to go to the park and do different stuff and like explore and do that type of stuff. And then as soon as the new moon more hit, I was like, oh no, I'm dead. I'm
Yeah.
not leaving the house. But it was very interesting. And I'm curious to see now next month if it's similar like that for me. So this is also called moon mapping. And moon mapping is your personal connection to the moon phases. And all it is I told Carissa earlier, I was like, this is an experience. This isn't just something you learn about, something you have to experience it because everyone's going to be different. You have to feel what your energy is feeling to see if then you take notice, what moon phase are we in? How am I naturally feeling? And then you'll start to see the next few months if you're writing it down daily, just small little things, small little nuggets. You might
Yeah.
notice some similar patterns. And what that can help you do is maybe for me, now that I'm kind of realizing my new moon, I probably won't be doing like tarot pop-up events, like virtual stuff where I don't have to leave my house is fucking great. But having to go out into public, I might not book certain things or events or things like that around this type of moon phase, knowing I might naturally not want to. So
Yeah. No, that's so true. That's so true.
yeah, so it's just being aware with it. And she also, it's teaching you then how to honor your ebbs and flows the way they need to be honored and not doing it by what society and everyone else is telling us how we should do it. That can help you like with your rest days, your planning days, your fun days, your creative days, like, because you're going to feel some energy that's like that. It's that fire, like pitta like energy. And you're just like, yep, I'm going to sit here and get all this shit done. Knock all the crap off I hate doing because I am feeling it. And we're just going to do it.
Yeah.
Like, but you recognize that it's just that deeper self-awareness, but letting the moon be our teacher a little bit more with it.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, I love that. I think the moon is just such a great teacher and it gives us such a natural schedule to follow that has been followed for literally like, eons. So yeah.
Did you hear that honking in the background?
Oh no. I didn't.
I'm in a city. Someone just laid on their horn right in front
Oh,
of my window, and I was just like, "Oh my god!"
it's living downtown life. Yeah.
But you guys didn't have to hear it. Go on. Sorry.
No, you're so good. You're so good. What was I saying? Do you remember? I don't remember.
Did you say the word eons?
Yes.
Before
Oh,
I
yeah.
interrupted you.
Following the moon cycles. It's been, people have been following it for eons, and it's such a cool way to just getting to touch base with the same process that perhaps like our ancestors, and people prior to us experienced and used to gain awareness and inner knowledge and, connect with their inner truth and their inner selves as well. So I love that. Moon mapping. That's what it's called, moon mapping.
Moon mapping, yes. There is a book that I've learned it from that is a great just moon book. If you want to learn, I will put it in the Facebook group with a picture of it so you guys can get it. I would stand up to grab it right now, but I'm like strapped up to a heat pad. I'm like not fucking with these cords right now, guys. I'm not standing up. But I will send that because it breaks it down with all the other phases of the moon so you can get your own like
Yeah.
studies off of it. But you should be able to Google moon mapping. But all it is really just knowing that all the different phases and knowing that they're going through 2.5 days to 2.5 days to 3 days shifting. You can take it deeper by looking to see which constellation it keeps moving through within those days. I haven't gotten that far yet because I'm just trying to figure out like how I feel with all the phases. So, but yes, moon mapping is what it is
Maybe
called.
you should put it in the newsletter.
I would do that too. Yeah.
Like link the book that you got.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
Yeah. Yeah. She sells it on Amazon.
Hell yeah.
I love when people do that.
Oh, I know. Just make it easy. Just make it
Yeah.
easy. Oh, so good. Sweet. I loved all your guys' comments.
I mean, I'm looking over them right now.
I know. It's like it's hard to read and guide at the same time. But yeah,
I see Amanda, you're feeling more energetic with this weekend. That's interesting. I wonder if next weekend or next month it'll be similar.
yeah. See, so like my cycle switches between the new moon and full moon. I'll be like new moon for like 3 to 6 months and then the full moon for like 3 to 6 months. So like I switch back and forth. But so I notice like, especially, just being on your cycle, you're going to be drained of energy anyway. So it's whenever that is, I'm drained. So sometimes it's a new moon, sometimes it's a full moon. We don't know. Yeah.
But if you started mapping it and writing down with your cycle, maybe you'll see if it is 3 months or 6 months. 'Cause wouldn't that be interesting if it was sick?
Yeah.
Half the year you're in one phase and the other half you like flipped.
That would be so cool.
I would want to know why, but yeah.
Yeah,
Like I want to know so much more, but it's very curious.
That would be like a cycle, like one upper. Somebody's like, oh yeah, I cycle around the full moon. It's like, yeah, well, I do both.
I switch every 6 months.
Like, oh my God, that just took like granola to like a whole nother level. So
we've become those people. I'm just kidding.
I know.
Okay.
I actually went to a women's breathwork class last month, and it was a really cool experience because I've only done breathwork with like co-ed, so mixed gender, but this time I decided to try out the women's because I was like, oh, this might be interesting just to, be in a space and being held by other women. A lot of like healing womb energy and things like that. So I was like, I'll give that a try. And at the beginning of the class, she has everybody go around and say like what day of your cycle you're on. And I was like, oh, I don't even know that I know that. I was like, oh, I had to like count. I knew I had just started. So I was like, oh, okay. I'm like on like day 5. So I guess I'm on day 5, but I thought it was so interesting that they made that a point of the class because it helps you understand where you're at on your, if you actually moon map or you actually follow your cycle along with your energy, where you are at right now. So if you're feeling more into your emotions or you have more energy, so you're carrying more of that, high frequency vibes, with you. I just thought it was so interesting. And at first I was like, oh, it's a little weird. Why aren't we all talking about our cycles? But I'm like, oh, okay, no, this is actually to one, create, intimacy, connection, and awareness within yourself and your own body of where you feel it, where you are feeling it inside of your body, and how you can now breathe that out. And then the state, it also helps the guide of the classroom know where everyone is at so that she could help lead the class to facilitate it the best for everyone. So I just thought that was so cool. Speaking of, cycles. But yeah, anyways, a little off topic.
Yeah, I love that. I've been like weirdly talking about cycles with a lot of like my hair clients and people more. And I'm just like, I don't know why this has been a thing, but I've been looking for some more books and education of the deeper energy work and spiritual connections and just all of that's very fascinating.
Yeah. There's a lot of power that's associated with it, whether you still have a cycle now or you don't. Still within our bodies, we experience, the really the characteristics of what that means, within us. And of course, since you've had a cycle in the past, like you've tapped into this energy, so there's always a spot of that journey to still learn from, and to develop through, and just being women, it's just such a interesting thing that we solely get to be a part of and experience, every month. you know
Definitely 28 to 30 days.
Wow.
All right. Well,
Yep. So, want to jump into your tarot?
yeah. I was gonna say, are we ready for some readings?
Yeah, I am. I would really like some answers from my guy.
Wouldn't we all? Ugh.
That would be nice.
Unfortunately, usually Spirit's laughing at us going, one, I've already sent you 5. 2, the answers are inside of you already. Don't you just fucking love?
I need a signier sign.
I need a signier sign. Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Like I need an adultier adult.
Mhm. Trying to outsmart the system.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Well, now that we got these nice and shuffled up, let's get our energy prepped for a nice little reading. So let's just take a couple of moments to close our eyes a little bit here. You can keep them open if you want or close them, whatever is most comfortable. Kind of roll your wrists around a little bit, roll around the neck. Just kind of get into your body, get into your breath, count out some deep breaths if that feels nice and calling to you. Just ground our energy down. And at this time, too, if you haven't taken a moment to kind of cut any energy cords from people that you've been seeing all day and been just kind of attaching yourself to many things and moments, just go ahead and kind of ask our guides, ask our angels to go ahead and cleanse our energy for us so we can just get in a nice, clear space to be able to receive these messages coming through. At this time, if you would like to call in any of your personal guides or ancestors or anything that you feel called to, go ahead and take a moment to do that. Take a moment to whisper any questions or any kind of guidance or anything that you've just been really wanting some light on or answers to, in hopes that it will come through in our collective reading tonight and that you'll hear what you need. And when you're feeling good and ready, we will go ahead and start shuffling and start pulling some cards. I do like to do things in 3s, so I feel like I'm just gonna grab 3 cards and just kind of do my usual 3 to 1 message, and we'll kind of just jump and hope that everyone kind of gets what they want. And these ones are already falling out. Okay. I feel I know who this might already be for because I'm laughing. The High Priestess, the King of Wands energy. King of Wands is like all of our fire signs and energy. King does feel like a person into the life. And then we had the Nine of Swords as well, popping out in reverse, which can kind of mean that we're starting to get more out of our head and out of this victim thing. It's almost like we're starting to step a little bit more into our feminine flow with the High Priestess. It's like you've already felt this energy of yourself with the High Priestess, but now you're starting to embody it more, to trusting by moving forward, by getting out of your head and letting the blockages come out, so that way you can just now experience everything. And that's the goal here, is to experience and get out of the head. Anytime the thoughts or patterns or resurface, recycle, anything with a worthiness that pops up in there that's kind of lingering. One, it's in reverse, which is showing us you're ready to kind of overcome it. It's something that you are ready for. So you're good. You're not your old self. You need to allow yourself to break free and trust in this new connection coming in with this little fire energy, this little flame here, and have fun. Yeah, I knew that one was hitting you. That's why I giggled. As soon as it came out, I was like, I already know what that one is. All right. Here we go. All right. 10 of Swords coming out. Maybe some hard truths are hitting. Okay. I don't know. There's a bunch of snakes on here too. There you go. There's your snakes for Monica for your Kundalini energy. This deck does have a lot of snakes in it in general, though, too, because, you know, it's a very. Just stop it. I know. Oh, two more. Okay, perfect. Ooh, a lot of completions. Oh, this is good. Okay. We also have the 10 of Cups, 10 of Swords, and the 3 of Swords. So a lot of things are completing. Some hard truths are coming to the surface. Maybe this had to do with some business stuff that I know that you've probably been contemplating, and just things that have kind of been smacking you in the face with hard reality, but it's smacking you there to be an obstacle to redirect you. So it's something that has to happen. It kind of fucking sucks, but it also weirdly feels liberating after the first initial shock hit. You also feel kind of like, all right, that's okay. The 3 of Swords energy showing was kind of like you've been feeling like you were trapped in this box, kind of being betrayed, feeling left out, feeling stuck, but it could have been that maybe you felt like people were betraying you in a way, or maybe they weren't holding up the end of the energy side of what you were hoping for, type thing. But the 10 of Cups is showing us that you are now moving into a whole new completion of work and all the stuff that you're doing that's going to be a lot more fulfilling. Yeah. And I feel that that's probably why you're already kind of seeing a lot of that stuff, because you're already awakening that energy, but you're stepping more into the embodiment with more of the emotions and feeling it and getting it into your body feel with the Cups energy here. So anytime you start to feel entrapped, or that someone is, or something is feeling like it's stabbing you in the back in a kind of a sense, the quickest way to put it, that could be in moments, that could be situations, that could be the universe is doing it to you with all this shit happening, all these things like going wrong, and it just feels like everything's fucking attacking you. Just know it's there to help redirect you and move and make proper shifts for it to happen, and to just hold on to every moment that makes you feel really good and lit up, and just cherish those a little bit more, to put those vibrations out versus holding on to all the shit that's falling apart or going to whatever, not going according to plan. Don't harbor on that. Harbor more on the good moments and the appreciative things, because those little things they're going to vibrate and radiate out and ripple effect so much more to help you bring more stuff in. Yes, especially with this into like this next month of everything that's going to be going on. Yes, just exactly. You have the right headspace, and just also allow yourself to feel the feels when you need to, scream it out, go punch something if you need, process, get it out the right way, but then, let it go after that, like a wave, let the storm hit and then we're good. Don't ever avoid it, but, don't hold on to it either. Yep. Oh, I know your car was fucking adorable too. She had a cute little Mini Cooper, you guys. It was adorable. Was that the one? All right. Let's get a few more. Just felt like reshuffling a big shuffle. They're kind of happy tonight. And that was 3. Man, I like it when they're on, when like they give me the exact amount that I'm hoping for too. Ooh, okay, okay. This is some fun energy. Someone's on a whole new adventure happening with some action plan. We've got the 2 of Wands, which is showcasing a contemplation of direction of where you're going. With the Wands energy, this can be, I always like to think of it of like a little spark inside you that lights that fire. It's not always necessary a movement card. Sometimes it's that spark that we need first to get the ideas coming and get that going first. So if you're at the phase where you're getting these ideas and sparks, you don't always need to make the move and take action on it yet. You just need to acknowledge it and see that it's there and sit on it. But then we also have the Fool card here, which is all about taking a leap of faith, trusting that you are being led where you need to go, and just knowing that it's all going to happen. It's going to be there. Trusting that when you take that first step, unknowing where your foot will land, Spirit will then move the pieces in play that are supposed to be there for you. With the Ace of Wands coming in, was showing that, and beautiful triangle here with harmony, everything's coming together type of thing. But this is saying it's sometimes you have to take that leap of faith first, and then Spirit will show its card to you. Sometimes I feel like the big lesson that it's trying to teach us is like, you have to learn to be okay with not knowing, but knowing that we got your back. That book with Rebecca or Gabrielle with The Universe Has Your Back. You just have to trust it's got you. You just got to fall right into it and jump. So if you've been contemplating something, or even if this is your sign, if something's already presented itself as like an opportunity or something that's come up, then this is already like your sign here with the Fool card saying that you are going to be protected, you're guided, you just need to jump and trust you can do it. Stay determined, but like you're going to be supported in this. It's all coming together with this triangle here in the background. And the thing being here, the light being all the way more down towards like her root chakra and everything, it's almost like this is the seed. You're planting the seeds. Just with our new moon energy, we're planting the seeds. So you're not going to see the fruits just yet. You're planting seeds. Yes. Okay, good. I'm glad that one was speaking. Oh, a couple messages coming up for people. Loving that. Perfect. All right. Well, you guys got your sign. Take your leap. Whatever comes up. If it doesn't excite you and scare the shit out of you, both equally the same, it's not big enough, you're still underplaying it. So if you're coming up with options like that, if one feels safer, you should go with the one that feels less safe, because that means it's more expansive. We want to be Jupiter, not Saturn. I thought that'd be funny to say. I don't know why. It's weird. All right. Thank you. I was just about to complain that I wanted it to fall out, because then I get indecisive on which one I feel like I want to grab. What do we get? That makes me so happy, Diana. Oh, it makes me feel even better when you guys get like a couple of things answering and coming through. I'm just like, yeah. All right, we want this one. Ooh. I'm like, can I put it back? No, I'm just kidding. Feels heavy energy though. We've got the 5 of Pentacles right now and the 5 of Wands. Let me get one more to jump out to see what else is going on, but heavy, a little heavier energy for someone's going through something a little bit heavier. And the 7 of Wands. Okay. So 7 of Wands. has like this energy of feeling small and overwhelmed. It's got like this energy that you've got a lot like on your plate and you don't feel like you can handle it. And it also has this feeling that things are against you, that everything almost feels like it's against you in a way. And it's almost like you feel like you're standing alone. And that's where the Five of Pentacles also has a very similar energy. It's got this left out in the cold kind of feel. It's got this you ever try to help somebody and you know how to help them, but they don't want to help themselves. So it doesn't matter what you say or what you do. It's just nothing's going to help them because they don't really want to help themselves. It kind of has that kind of energy towards it. You have all of the power you need. And it's almost like in the traditional artwork, it's these two people walking out in the cold and they're all bundled up in these jackets and they're literally like shivering. And there's like a sign on this church with this glass that's like showing the Five Pentacles, and that's like it's like spirit trying. It's like it's if only you looked up. It's your answer's right here, but you won't. You won't see it type thing. So it's that kind of energy, but it could be because everything's feeling too cluttered, too overwhelming, too heavy in that feeling, and it's causing friction. Five of Wands has a very fight or flight tense energy. It could also be saying that maybe you're getting into small arguments with like loved ones and family. Maybe you've been in this energy that everything's kind of just setting you off right now. Like the kid just kind of looked at you and asked for a sandwich and you just pretty much told him to go fuck himself because you're just not in the mood right now. And it just kind of happened, you know? It's kind of like you're getting triggered a lot. So if you've been feeling like you're hitting a lot of those little triggers, it's because it's like something's got to give. Something is not. These are signs telling you that there's too much going on. It's almost like that Virgo energy, what you were saying. We need to reprioritize and go back to the core, get some shit off the plate and kind of go back to, you know, that basic, what we need, what we got to do. Yes. um, yes. I know it always makes me feel like you know who it's talking about, where I'm like, what are you doing? It encourages me though, you know, when they say when you're in a crowd and you're like speaking to a big group, find the head nodder, find that person who's engaging with you. So I like it. Thanks, Krista. But yes, that big energy, overwhelming. So let's go back to, and also like you can handle this. You're more than capable to handle this. We just kind of need to rebalance and kind of see where we've been out of balance right now and kind of go back to it. So just know you can handle it. This is something that you're more than capable to. And if you feel alone in it, there could be a reason why you're supposed to feel alone in it. Maybe it's because you're shifting a lot of things. Maybe you're breaking chains. Maybe you're the one in the family that's doing all the stuff that's different. So of course everyone's looking at you and being against you in that kind of way or ganging up on you in those energies. Just know if that's like what you've been experiencing, maybe it's because you need to learn how to be able to stand tall and steady in yourself, regardless of who's standing next to you or supporting you in it. That you're supposed to learn that this is your vision, this is your purpose, you have it for a reason. Fuck everyone else, keep following your true north, wherever that's taking you type thing too. So yes. What time is it? Oh, we're doing good. Krista, have you heard anything? No, I didn't think so. So yeah, we'll do another set. We'll for sure do another set. All right. I'll let you tell them afterwards. I think I'm a topic of reading here. You guys know we get sidetracked though. I don't feel like we even have to say it. It just happens sometimes. Get off topic. Okay. Okay. You jiggled. Good job. Oh, I like this one. Oh, I like all of them. All the artwork's so pretty. Okay. King of Pentacles and Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. That. All right, let's get one more to see exactly where this is taking us here. Okay. So we've got the King of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles that did come out in the reversal side with the Seven of Swords. So first, the King of Pentacles is a very strong energy. This is all of your earth signs. So very grounded, rooted type of people. It could also be very successful people, someone who owns like a business, who's very logical and structured and all of their stuff. They kind of have like a leadership role. They're very good at standing steady. This could be an actual person being a King of Pentacles, or this could be a very stable like energy. But I'm also feeling with what I see else coming up that this might be more of a person. So think about like earth signs too. This could be like almost a boss or something like that too. Someone in a position of authority type thing. And then with the Four of Pentacles being more in reverse, 4 is a number of stability. It is a number of structure. It's a number that kind of represents a core. It's your foundations. When you think about the basic structure of a house, especially in our earlier years of building houses when they weren't so elaborate, it was like these 4 poles that go up, and that's the basic structure of your house. That's your one room, is these 4 walls. That's what the 4 is representing. This is a structure. Something with it being in reverse kind of shows that there's a shakiness within the structure. Something is shaky here. Something is not being presented the way that it's supposed to. It's 7 of Swords is I mean, you can just see in the artwork, you've got the girl standing here. This is the Egyptian god that killed the brother. Is it Osiris? That kills Horus's dad, or yeah, Isis's husband, that she goes and brings him back from the dead and all of that. Like this is him. Set. This is Set. Okay, you guys. He's kind of mischievous little dude here. He's not the nicest energy. He's got a mask on, and you see all these like smoke and mirrors type thing, and they're blowing smoke up your fucking ass. They're like, and being a Swords, it usually has to do with communication. So they're either putting a front up, having a mask on, not telling you the full truth, hiding themselves. So good they are hiding from them own selves, most likely. Most of us are. Or they're literally telling you lies. They're just literally not telling you the truth, and you're swimming around in an unstable, because to me, when it comes to relationships, any kind of relationship, whether it's romantic, working with people, collaborations, communication is one of the 4 basic pillars to me of being in a relationship or connection with someone. You got to be able to communicate. And you got to just give it to me straight. You can't like fluff it around or leave shit out. You know what I mean? Communication is very important. So this is where it's coming from, where I feel like this is more of a relationship with the King of Pentacles being here with a foundation with lies, because I don't know about you, nature doesn't lie. So I don't know. Well, that's more of a human thing. I don't even think animals know how to do that either, to be quite honest. I don't think their brains can work that well. So yes. So just be cautious. If you get this weird gut feeling that someone's not being totally honest with you, or if you've had that, and it could be even someone that's not, like, it might not even be a romantic thing, but if you've just had that recently, and this might not even be a guy, don't think of the king being of a physical person. Think of the energy of the earth sign and a little bit more masculine based, where it's someone who might not be, you might not see their emotions on their face very well. They might be like a very non-emotional type of person, very hard for them to show emotions. They're just kind of always flat. You know, if you see them smile once in a hot minute, you're almost kind of like, wow, you look like a whole different person. So it's that kind of energy. Just kind of be weary of that. And if that's not resonating with anyone, then be aware of it in the next few weeks for whomever this might be for, because this is coming up for a reason. So yeah. Yeah. All right. How are we feeling? Is anyone feeling like they want one more, or do we all feel like we got what we needed? One more? She's like, I feel like every time I even ask for one more, I don't know why. I'm like, I already gonna kind of know, but sometimes I'm like, do I just like to hear my voice talk though? I'm just kidding. I talk to myself though all the time. Who did that as a kid? Who else? I know I'm not the only one. And you did, right, Krista? Yep. Who else talked to themselves as kids? And your parents come up to you. Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? I started making up imaginary friends, I think, at the beginning, just to say I was talking to somebody. Avoid that energy or take him out of it. Let me come back at you with another question into your question of, is it taking it on for an ego reason to change or get to the truth? Or is it more of a see past their illusions, because sometimes some people just don't want to take their masks off. Sometimes they're more stubborn. So you kind of have to ask your kind of that, you have to weigh that on in yourself, because what you're really weighing is, will someone change? Will someone do the real work? Will someone really commit their life? Because this is why me and my ex actually did break up, is because it comes down to it. This is a lifestyle. There's no destination. I don't care how much you go to therapy and do all the stuff. There's no destination. We're not going anywhere. It's a constant journey of just healing yourself deeper and deeper and uncovering more layers of what it is and this and that. So you have to ask yourself, is that someone that you want to be in some kind of connection with if they can't do that? Because then if the scary part is what I find the scariest about how well we are as humans to lie and deceive is how well we can deceive our own self, that we believe it so much ourselves that we get lost and trapped to it. That's where the mirrors in this card comes from, is because it's like the person can't see themselves. They're so lost in all of these illusions and all of these things that they've put in. They don't know themselves. And if they don't know themselves, how can they tell you the truth? They don't know their truth anymore. They have to go on that journey for themselves. So the question's not, should you do it or not? The question is, is that, do you have the energy to wait on someone to gamble if they're going to do that, And that's also telling the universe what you're willing to put up with and what your worth is. The universe is it's one and the same to us, similar to our own mirror, but it's us too. So it's not just the mirror, it is us. So if you're going to accept that, you are putting that out into the universe, that is what your level, that's your bar. You set your bar because you accepted it. That's the bar. So ask yourself where you want to set that bar with people in all kind of relationships. I hope that helps. I can go on a rampage of that kind of shit though. Yeah. Oh, 3 of you. Oh, you're so cute. Okay. They all 3 just like that, right on the ground. Usually it's not even that clean. Okay. A lot of Saturns. Oh, okay, though. We are going somewhere. Okay. So we've got the Queen of Cups energy, which is one of our most highly intuitive court cards. She's almost at the same level as our High Priestess energy, but just a little bit more minor. It's kind of like that inner energy that we always have to kind of come and harness in. We've got the 10 of Wands. Yeah, 10 of Wands, which is showing a more energy of feeling overwhelmed. Kind of feeling a little heavy and overwhelmed and a little burdened. Maybe there's just kind of like a lot on the plate. If you kind of see, we've got Saturn up in here, which is kind of re-showing like patterns and circles coming back around. Like maybe it's have we fallen back into a pattern of overdoing the schedule, or kind of falling back into old patterns that aren't really helping us? With this, it almost feels like it's like you're taking on too much. Maybe you keep saying yes when you really want to say no out of guilt. Maybe it's also like little things where you're like, oh, but it's good for me. Oh, but this is good for me. This is something I'm doing for my pleasure. But then it's like, okay, would it be more pleasurable to sit on the couch and binge on Netflix for the day instead? Because like your energy feels like doing that more, versus you keep smiling. I feel like this is hitting you. So I'm gonna say, like, do you want to do another breath class work, or do you just want to sit on the couch and binge for a minute because you haven't done it in a really long time? Which I don't know if you have or haven't. But then we've got the 3 of Wands. The 3 of Wands is saying like things are opening up. It's like a new possibilities are coming and happening. We got to make space to create for that. We got to make time and energy for this. So trust your intuition. Lean more into that. Lean more into trust. Stop trying to do it all yourself. Lean more into trust. Stop trying to know every direction of where it's going. I know we're all highly intuitive beings and we're all tapped in and we see the signs everywhere, but sometimes that's overwhelming. Sometimes all of this type of stuff can get overwhelming too. And sometimes you just have to allow yourself to actually be a human and be on the human side for a hot minute and step away from the spiritual side and soul side too. It's a balance. We're supposed to be here to experience both things. So if you're feeling extra overwhelmed, and if you start feeling like things are starting to repeat and recycle in a way, then it's time to kind of lean more into that trust, get rid of the stuff. Like, you've got so much things happening. The Three of Wands is showing that. It's showing that so many things are opening up in the horizon. Like, she's just sitting here in the desert and the fucking universe is literally opening up before her eyes, like in a poof of a cloud. It's saying things are happening. They're going to happen for you. You need to just lean into the trust and make space for it and take time a little bit more for it too, when it comes to not being overwhelmed. Because when it does happen, and you're depleted of your energy, it's all going to go to waste. That moment in time that was there to help you, it's not going to be what you wanted it, because you're tapped out. You got nothing left to give. It's almost like you trained so long for this, but by time you got to it, you were so burnt out, you just fucking quit. Even after it was handed to you, you were like, I don't even fucking care now. I am so over. I'm so overwhelmed. Like, I'm so tapped out. Don't allow yourself to get there. See it before it comes. Lean more into that trust and be a human once in a while. That goes for everybody. Be a human. It's okay. We're human beings. And human is first. That's why we're in this whatever the fuck this earth, whatever this really is. I don't even know, whatever this is. We're still human first. We came out of the vagina first. Like, we have flesh first. All of this is first before we get down in here. So don't forget that. All right. I don't think I've ever seen it like that before, you guys. So that was kind of a nice little.
That was awesome, Jade.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I feel like, did everybody feel like something hit them? Because I personally got the energy that everybody was like being directed to 100%. I could almost guess who and what was for everyone. I love that.
Yes, Amanda, I see you had to take a break. Yes. Oh, just trying to catch up on all this. I don't read them all.
Mhm. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that was amazing. I felt a lot of those definitely were really great reminders. A lot of affirmations hit me. So like, oh, that was good. That was good. That was potent.
Sometimes I laugh because I'm like, God, I feel like at half the time they were just all talking about me. So I feel like we all get something. I feel like I always get something out of it.
Yeah. Well, I think because we're all connected and a part of this collective, we're experiencing a lot of similar energetic shifts that are playing in.
I pulled the 10 of Wands yesterday for myself. That was one of my 3 cards that came out. So that's why I kind of also giggled when I saw it, because I was like, oh, that one actually might be talking to me, because I did pull that yesterday. I did take out a little too much yesterday.
That's how I felt today, honestly. Yeah, that last card made a lot of sense to me. It felt very aligned to just redirection, Yeah.
Yes, refocus. Yes.
Absolutely. So you guys,
yes.
well, let me tell you. So this evening we were going to be honored by the guest speaker presence of Christian, who's the owner of Plant Medicine Society, or Plant Society, sorry. And he's not able to make it. So we will not have him on. Simple as that. I don't know exactly what happened, but that's okay. Things are going to happen like that. So we were really looking forward to just talking about, so I'll just kind of, instead just share my experience of how I came into learning about plant medicine, how I found their product, and kind of my experience with their product. I'm not sure if any of you guys have tried plant medicine before, any types of plant medicine, but drop it in the chat if you have. I have personally experimented with lots of different like psychedelics and things like that, but nothing to where it was always just recreational. It's never been like for a holistic or a healing therapeutic experience. So I have dealt with a lot of anxiety in my life, where I was on freaking Xanax for like over a couple years because my anxiety was so freaking bad. I had to do something to help control it. I still do suffer from little bits of that coming into my body, but because my awareness has grown and I do have, other tools to use, I've been able to, keep it not at bay, but actually work on it. So I have been wanting to look into other types of, plant medicine or healing modalities that can help me on not just a neurological level, but almost down to a cell level. And, mushrooms and psilocybin has become increasingly popular throughout therapeutic studies, throughout, healing ceremonies. You've got retreats, people doing it, microdosing, you've got macro dosing, you've got hero dosing. So that's hero dosing is literally
Wait,
taking over. Yeah.
what the fuck?
Okay. So
What is macro dosing?
yeah.
What is hero dosing? I've no micro dosing, and now I'm like,
Yeah.
what's all this
So
extra stuff?
microdosing is when you're taking a micro amount of whatever the plant substance. For this experience, we're just going to talk about psilocybin and mushrooms. But that would be taking less than 0.5. So 1 gram, that's a full on experience to me. Some people might say because of their levels that that's a microdose for them, but to me, that would be a full dose. A microdose would be pretty much like 0.25s of a gram or 0.5 of a gram to give you, 0.25, you're just going to feel elevated. You're going to feel a lot of mental connection and clarity within your brain. For me, in my experience of taking 0.25, I really just I was clicking, I was buzzing. I felt good. My body felt good. I had energy. I was very just cognizant. A lot of mental connection and clarity where I was like, oh man, why didn't I think of that? That just makes so much sense. Why am I not doing that before? Or, wow, that doesn't really fit who I am. I'm this person, so those were some of the kind of mental pops that happened with just taking 0.25 of a dose. Now, 0.5 of a dose will give you just even more of an elevated experience within your body, and even more throughout the mind until you get to 1 gram, 2 grams, 3 grams. That's when I personally would assume you would start seeing a little bit of visuals throughout the body. Now, depending on, your consumption rate and things like that will definitely fluctuate and change. A lot of people could take, 2 grams and not see anything as far as visual effects. I really like keeping it mellow because it's not for me about, at this point in my journey, it's not about hallucinating and seeing a bunch of stuff that is in another ether. It's more about getting into my body and really rewriting truths of my own on a neurological level down to where it's becoming on a cell level, that it's really becoming imprinted into who I'm becoming. And you can really change things with your environment just by your thoughts. And we've talked about that before on previous sessions together. But so with microdosing, so a macro dose would probably be anywhere between 3 and 5 grams. I would think 3 to 5, 7 grams. That's a lot of mushrooms, you guys. That is not something to be played with. Anytime that you're beginning a new journey within the realm of psychedelics or plant medicine, it is always important to if you're not familiar with it, have somebody with you who can either babysit you, be by your side, and they're actually the sober person, and take a small ass dose. You never jump into something just right off the bat without knowing about it. I would not suggest that personally.
Do your research.
Yeah.
Just like with anything, do a lot of research. I mean, we're not professionals by any means, and obviously,
Yeah.
That's what happened. But just do some research if you're interested. If it's something that opens you up, there's a lot of information out there now, and a lot of really good information that you can just find out there.
Oh
on
my
all
gosh,
and
it's
get down to a science, understand everything. Whatever you need.
Yeah. There's several documentaries that are on Netflix that I would encourage you guys to go check out and watch. One of the most fantastic fungi. Go watch that. It's phenomenal. It's going to teach you all of the microbiology just about mushrooms and how amazing they are, and the type of network that they create within their gene makeup. So go watch that. It's really, really good. And it will totally turn you on to just the magnitude behind mushrooms.
And
And
just not even psychedelic ones,
not even
just all the
psychedelic,
different
just how
kinds of mushrooms.
fungus and mushrooms are.
I don't even like mushrooms because I'm a texture person, and I don't know. As soon as I know there's a mushroom in it, I'm like, I'm not eating that shit. I don't even care if I don't see it right now. I just know it's in there. And I saw that there was, I didn't do that much research yet, but I saw there was one that can help like your brain and your memory and shit like that. Like if you're eating it, just kind of helps boost it.
Yeah.
I was like, I really need to start looking into more of these types of foods as an adult. I'm getting to these ages where I should start being more conscious and how all of like our veggies and all that shit.
Right.
Mushroom,
Well,
do it.
these mushrooms are basically carrying the DNA sequence of every single thing that has decomposed with it and then recreated by its transmutation process. So just the process of it in general is just wild,
Put that in the chat. What the name of that? I need to get Netflix.
fantastic fungi.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic fungi. And that's on Netflix, you guys. So I also, okay, so we were kind of talking about levels, right? So micro would be anywhere from 50 to 0.25. A macro dose would be anywhere from like 2 grams to like 7 grams. That's a fuck ton of mushrooms. And then basically like a hero dose. I listened to this, oh my gosh, phenomenal podcast, Almost 30 with Aubrey Marcus, Almost 30 podcasts with Aubrey Marcus. And he talks about the experience of like taking a hero level dose of mushrooms. And I think he said it was around 30 grams of mushrooms, 30 grams. That would literally send you into outer space. It was,
I'm good.
Yeah,
Like that sounds a little intense for me.
yeah, I know, right? And so they talk about this
Like Earth.
experience, and it just blows my mind. What it could basically like what it could do on like that high of a level to your body is just insane. So it's a very, yeah, definitely would need a babysitter, maybe for like a month. Yeah. Oh my God. This has become something
Like,
that, yeah, go ahead.
would you even want to live a normal human life after experience whatever the fuck you'd experience in that shit? Like I'd come back to this boring ass Earth here and be like, okay.
Yeah. Well, I think what happens is that having like a multi-dimensional experience as that gives you a new perspective of what is truly inside of you, what your brain is capable of, the places that you can take yourself, the experiences that you're looking for now within, a psilocybin experience or a therapeutic experience where you could go seek out a therapist who works with psilocybin and is willing to do sessions like this. These are things that exist out there, you guys. And what is it, Monday? I'll have to include it in the notes because I can't think of it off the top of my head. It might be Access Monday or Anima Monday. I'm not 100%, but they have a Instagram page where they have book series and workbooks that you can purchase from them that are in-depth and detailed for your psilocybin journey and your microdosing journey. So within just the microdosing frame, I'll just focus in on that for a second. Within the microdosing frame, how you want to approach that, it's not an everyday thing, but you do want to do it in a 30-day process. And for some people, it's 2 months in a row, 3 months in a row, a month off, whatever it is. But for the most part, you would do it within a week's time frame, every other day. So one day on, one day off, one day on, one day off, one day on. And then that microdose is that 0.25, is that's all you're taking. So you're really just kind of going about your everyday life, adding in whatever your routines are or your rituals into that, or whatever you're looking to move away from or shift into, using the microdosing as a tool to amplify that timeline process, recreating those neural pathways within your brain. When you recreate those on not on a neurological level, and you can feel it in your body, that changing, it's going to change in your environment. It can't not change in your environment, when you are truly actually feeling as if it is happening in the now and present. So mushrooms do help bring you into that state, because it's allowing your mind to calm down and ease, so that you could actually focus in on that, letting go of the anxieties and the stresses, the trauma, and the things that are keeping you from accessing that part of yourself.
Like gets you out of the fight or flight mode fully.
Yes, exactly, exactly. A lot of people who have worked with therapists within this realm, have been able to reach deep parts of their trauma that have been blocked out and suppressed so deep down, that they, you have people who don't remember anything about their childhood. They go into a psilocybin journey with a therapist, and they're actually able to reach, those memories of them as a child, and heal parts of that wounding that they weren't able to access before. So moreover, I would absolutely love to have somebody, who is actually scientifically knowledge within this department. This is just my personal experience. So I'm not a professional within this. I'm not a doctor. Like, I've been to one once, it's, so this is really just my personal experience, and wanting to give you guys a little understanding of why I was so excited to bring somebody on to talk about this. Because for me, this has been a great place to come into and let go of fear around, drugs, not drugs,
Great
but
healing
plant
tool.
medicine, and just getting back in touch with nature and the earth, and experiencing just more of the magic that comes from our natural resources that are around us. And yeah, so I really do wish that Christian could have been on with us tonight to just chat about it. It was just the way it was meant to go, for us to just have a little bit of an intimate conversation that's not really, supported by any scientific facts, other than what I think I know. So I'm just like,
We
claim.
encourage you to do your research.
Yeah.
I can't say that enough.
I can't say that enough. Do your own research. And
Do your research.
if you have questions and you want me to point you the right direction, let me know, because I'll point you towards the Anima Mundi page or the Plant Medicine Society page.
And
give you guys
Amanda said Forest Stigmatic is a really good brand too, with mushroom coffee and stuff. I wrote that down. I was like,
yes.
So
you have mushrooms, like Forest Stigmatic, that are like neurotropic, mushrooms, and that they are for your brain. They're going to help level out all of your levels. So you are, alert, but not, stressing, you've got clarity, you feel aligned, there's no brain fog, all of those things. And then it helps just sharpen everything up, back to its, authentic state. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to share with you guys. If you are interested, what's cool is Plant Medicine Society does ship throughout the United States. So if you're interested in starting a microdosing journey, you are not alone, and they do have resources and information for you to become curious about that if you want. Like I said, always start small, always do your research, and when in doubt, don't do it alone. Yeah. Have somebody with you who you trust, that can just be there with you.
Do it in a safe space.
Safe space with safe people. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Get a bomb ass playlist. All right.
Yeah. I love that. Yes. Yeah. That's all I've got on that. If there's anything you want to add, Jade.
Nope. I feel like I've experimented not as much as you, and it was a couple years ago when I tried microdosing, and I tried like shrooms and doing stuff like that here and there, with my own experiences. So I feel like you There's nothing I have that I could add to it that would be of substance. So
That's
I was like, my experience is not really up there. But
Yeah.
it is something I've been wanting to get back into doing with microdosing specifically, just that as a I did the method where uh you do it for one day, you take it and then you wait 3 days between. So it's
Yeah.
fully out of the system and then you do
Mhm.
it like that. So I know there's a lot of different ways to microdose and I know Monica, you probably were on that one, but they had a whole segment on microdosing and stuff specifically too. So I kind of learned a lot and I was like,
Yeah.
I want to get back into this, but I didn't know where to buy and get the stuff,
Yeah.
especially with the shrooms. And my cat, he becomes athletic when he's hungry. I don't feel like growing herbs in here just quite yet.
Yeah.
He will smell it. I don't know if shrooms have a smell to them to the cat or not, but I cry every time he fucks with one of my plants, so I just don't feel like getting my heart broken by him right
I
now.
totally get that. Yeah, what's cool about Plant Medicine Society is they offer their products in multiple different ways. So they have the microdosing within the chocolates, which come in a bar, and it's a 4-gram mushroom bar. So you can break it off. They give you a little guide that tells you how much to take for what type of experience you're looking for. They just created a new line of gummies. And then they also have the capsules. So the microdosing capsules are only 0.25. It comes with 16, and that's for the month.
You can't fuck that up.
You can't fuck that up. So it's pre-weighed, everything's done for you so that you don't have to mess with any of that. It's at Plant. I'll go ahead and type it in here. Plant.
Yes. We'll also add it to the playback too when we send out that email.
Plant Medicine Society on Instagram. The guy's name's Christian. If you message them, they'll get you right set up. They're really fast. And yeah, I can say that their product's great. I personally tried it. I love it. And yeah, I think you guys should check it out if you're interested. This will call to you when it's ready to call to you. I was interested in it for about 2 years and then finally got the nudge where it was literally put into my hand. And I knew that that was time for me to go ahead and step into that journey. Things like this will call to you to the point where it will be in front of your face. So, I actually got to do that for my uncle and gave him some of the microdoses because I was like, hey, I don't know why, but I need to give this to you and you might want to try it. Maybe you won't, maybe you will. But yeah, so it's something that's becoming increasingly popular as it's becoming legalized in multiple states are using it for PTSD research and therapy and things like that. So hey, I mean, we might very well soon see this become standard across the board. I think that would be really cool to see that happen. Yeah.
That'd be cool. Did you see what Diana said in the chat? They have places opening in New York City, including trucks that drive.
Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, this is going to be the new cannabis industry. It really, really is. You're going to have tinctures, you're going to have edibles, you're going to have raw form, you're going to have 12 different types of, psilocybin or mushrooms to choose from. It's going to be the new cannabis. So I'm excited to see where it goes. And honestly, just to see where the collective goes as we're all like stepping into this like transcendental healing.
I was just thinking, everyone's gonna heal. It's gonna take time, but it's gonna happen.
But it's gonna take time, but it's gonna happen. Yeah, exactly.
More generations, but just think about that. We're all breaking the cycles now.
Yeah.
That's why it is such a cool moment in history for us.
Yeah.
Breaking our cycles.
Yeah.
All right.
It's time. But this was great, ladies. I'm so glad that we all got to join together tonight. My apologies that Christian wasn't able to join us, but I hope that you still walked away from this with some information about plant medicine and maybe has sparked your curiosity about it. But moreover, got to tap into the Virgo new moon energy that's going to carry with you for the next 2 weeks as we all integrate in. And you guys have access to us at any point that you need. So please reach out on Instagram or,
check out the new YouTube channel too. We'll be on there. We have a lot of plans. So keep a lookout in your inboxes, spam folders for the Celestial Sisterhood emails. And we'll be giving you guys a bunch of updates on all of the stuff that we're doing with that shit too. And And if you have Spotify, you can find us on Spotify now too for a podcast. So we haven't quite announced it super yet, but we did record our very first episode that we will be posting soon. All the old moon gatherings are on there too. So that's
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so much fun. Well, I love you guys all very, very much. Like I said, if you are local and you see that we're doing an in-person event, please, 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 please come join us. We would love to just get to connect with you in person, and just experience your magic, up front.
I just had an idea pop in my brain that I'm just gonna say super fast. But Monica, we could always do a traveling celestial sisterhood little day retreat in Roanoke, Virginia. I'm just
Whoa.
Guys have a good night.
Bye.
I'm just gonna say that super fast because
I love it. Oh my gosh.
I haven't thought of it before.
Absolutely. Yes. Well, if you guys have ideas for events that you actually would want to have like in your like state or where you're at, and you've got a group of girls or a group of homies who, want to howl at the moon, yeah, drop us
That's something that we could totally make happen, actually.
Yes. Yeah. Do it under
a teepee. Oh my God. As long as there's no copper snakes.
Yeah. If you can promise us no copper snakes, we're there.
Okay. I've learned that beautiful places where people live like here, they have all the pretty mountains and like that beautiful prairie like vibe with like the sun and all the stars and all the gorgeous. You kind of you don't realize all the other shit you guys got, like the bugs and like the ticks and like the snakes. And I don't know, nature.
It comes with
from a city. I'm like,
yeah. Perfect. Done.
The sad thing is I'm still more afraid of the ticks than I am of the snake. That's because the snake's bigger and I can see them.
Oh, ticks.
Yeah, you don't see them.
Yeah, I know.
They're sucking your blood. Okay.
They're sucking your blood.
Creeps me out.
Perfect. It's probably a good spot to end.
I know. I was like, all right, get off topic again. You guys have a
like losing it slowly but surely.
Monica, we'll talk though.
100%. I think we're just so stoked to just keep expanding and making things happen and connecting more and more. We started in January, so this is month 8, our 7th gathering. But umpteenth like time coming together. So yeah, let's just keep making the magic happen, you guys, and keep learning together and discovering. And yeah, I'm just really, really grateful to be here with you guys all tonight. And tonight was special.
Thanks for coming.
So thank you. Yeah, thanks
guys.
Yeah.
All right. Hope everyone has a great night.
I hope you guys all have a good one. Keep an eye out for the recording and give us a shout if you guys need anything, but we'll see you guys soon. Love you, and you.
I'm gonna piggyback on all of that.
Same.
I'm that person. Like,
yeah, 100%. I love it.